what's up friends? Thanks for joining me on this lovely, hot 100+ degree day here in Austin, Texas. Today I'm gonna replace my old QuadLock, the one with the lever, you can see the little red one over there, with the new waterproof wireless charger. Have to wire it under the tank and whatnot, so let's get into it. Okay, so here's what I got. Got the wireless or weatherproof wireless charger, and this is new for QuadLock. I don't know exactly when it came out, but it's a 12 volt smart adapter, so it has an on and off switch and an auto switch, so it doesn't drain your battery. I guess the previous versions of this, if you just left them on the bike, they actually could potentially suck juice from the battery. So this should be pretty cool. Okay, here's what you get in the box. Got this is for the 12 volt cable, so this will hook directly to the battery, and this will hook up to this side will go here, battery to here, through here. This has the auto on and off switch, on, off, and auto, so there's 3 positions, and then this will connect into the wireless charger. So let's get to it. Okay, and here's what came in with the wireless charger. So you got the wireless charger unit itself. This is a newer one, so it has that longer housing there for the waterproofing. You've got like 3 different USB type cables to hook it up, and they all have this ribbed, I don't know if you can see that, ribbed kind of part that goes into the housing to help with the waterproofing, weatherproofing. Zip ties, and then a longer screw to go down through into the vibration dampener. But that's it, let's go. And before you start, you gotta get it up on the center stand, or if you don't have one, you know, lift the bike up so it's stable. Okay, so this is what I currently have on the bike. So this BMW came with the GPS cradle for the Garmin. And I bought the, whoop, hold on, Big B, get out of here. All right, sorry for that interruption. That was a huge ass bee. Okay, this came with the GPS. So I bought this aftermarket. It was like $30. It fits into the cradle, has 2 USB ports here. And then I put with the RAM mount, I put the QuadLock, and I also have the vibration dampener here, so it doesn't kill my phone. Problem is, this is, I don't know, this is horrible looking, and it's malfunctioning. So when I hook up the battery, it turns off, it turns on, it doesn't charge. The charge is not effective. My phone still drains, so gotta get rid of it. And I'm gonna put the new wireless charger right here. So let's get into taking off the seat, battery access. All these fairings have to come off so I can get access under here for the wiring. Have to disconnect. So there's gonna be a bunch of these ties holding this in place that go all the way down. Okay, so first off, I want to take off this aftermarket cell phone cradle holder thingy, and you need the key to unlock this. Basically stick that in there, turn it. Then there's a little lever under here. It should pull towards you. Then there's a lever, you can't see it, but it's, I don't know if I can get the phone in there. There's a little lever here you push, and you get on this side, see. I don't know if you can see that. Push that in, this one, and then this just pops off. So this was about $30. So that'll be going in the garbage, I guess. And on this bike, to gain access to the seat underneath, there's a lock here. You put the key in. This is kind of a 2-hand job. It might be difficult for me to do this one hand. So you just turn it. And then this, let me just see if I can do it with one finger. Okay, there you go. So that pops off. This comes off first. And we'll put that over there. And then this just slides out, and then you have access to the top part. Then for the most part, what you'll need for tools is a hex or a torque set, Most of the little screws that are holding the fairing on this bike are a T25, so I'll do this one. And then this is a hex set, because I have one hex bolt holding on that GPS cradle, so I need to get that off with this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the battery cover first. So here's the first Torx bolt. Like I said, it's a T25. Let's get that in there. Okay, now we got access to the battery. So we've got the ground wire here. The red power is on the inside, so you gotta pull the battery out. But if you do that, you have to disconnect the ground. And when you do that, you lose the connection to the TFT. So you're gonna get that warning to reset. They'll be stuck on there. But there is this cable here. So I'm thinking I could probably connect the power to this and this without pulling the battery out, and then, you know, hiding the cable up in here somewhere. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Next is I'm gonna take all these guys off that hold on this whole side of the fairing and the side of the gas tank here. Take all that off, and then start to see if I can follow the wire. Okay, so now I've got all the screws out along the top here, along the sides, here, and then there's, on this part, I'm not sure if I have to take this off, but I did, I'm going to. There's one screw here, and then there's one screw up. Let me see. One screw right here. And then I'll take this off. So let me get all these pieces off, and we'll go from there. Then once you take all these screws off and you take this off, I just have it resting on the lower fairing here. There's another screw right here to get this hold that allows all this to come off. So that's underneath the turn signal part of the fairing. So this side panel has the turn signal on it, and it's wired. So this has to pop out, okay? So there's just this little thing here. You just gotta pull this up, and then you can pull this out. Then you need to take, this is attached to this part of the fairing, so this goes up into the, you know, up the harness there. So to get this out, there's a clip. Let me see if you can see in there. My eyes are shot. So there's a little clip inside here. Just push up on it, and this slides off like that. So that's how you get that off. So once you get that off and all the screws and all that stuff, this is all kind of held on mostly by this gas. There's a lip on the top of this gas tank fairing part that kind of holds it. So if you just lift up on this, it'll pop, and then the whole, see, this whole side now is ready to just come off. So let me just take this off now and put it on the ground. So there's all the pieces on the ground, and that's what it looks like. Look at all that sweat. 102 degrees. I gotta get a fan for the garage. I have a little one, but it's not doing the job. Okay, so I snipped this off of here. There is a rubber boot. This one's like a, where is it? Oh, here. It's just a button. So I undid this and took the wire out and plugged, and then redid it, reattached it. Then there's two more down here. If you can see, where am I? So there's my finger. There's one of those little rubber boots there. And there's another one there. And then there's a tie. So here's the cable. So now I watched a video of a guy doing this, but he did it on a GS, and right here, on the GS, because the fairing's not there, there's a lot more room, and the plug is just down there. You just reach out and unplug it. But for this one, it's tucked way underneath, so you have to actually come down here And see if I can get my fingers in there. So this, where am I? Okay. This is the wire for the GPS right here that goes into this. So this is what unplugs. So back in there deep, there's a zip tie. I gotta find a way to cut that. Okay, so there's a zip tie that's way down, tucked inside down there. It's hard to see. The only thing I could find that would reach it, let me see if I can get the light on it. The only thing I can find to reach it and potentially cut it, I haven't cut it yet, is, yeah, there it is down there, is a pair of scissors. So I'll take a picture and then circle what I'm talking about in the video up above. Okay, so far this has been the most difficult part, is getting that. So what I did is I used an X-Acto kind of knife and I snaked it inside here and just sawed away at that zip tie until it broke loose, which allowed this, whoops, sorry, which allowed this, now this is the free cable. So that white plug needs to be unplugged from the black, and we should be good to go to remove the unit once I unscrew the top part. Okay, so I just lifted that little tab and pulled this out. So now it's disconnected. Now I gotta just snake it, take this part off, and then the wire should be able to come out. Okay, so now the zip ties are snipped, it's unplugged, and so we should be able to just pull this. See if I can do this with one hand. Hey, there we go. But for this one, I'm gonna do these 4 Torx bolts. This one you have to change to a T20. I don't know if you can see that. T20. So I'm just gonna zip these out. Okay, so I took off these 4 bolts. Big important thing here, on the back side of each one of these bolts is a little nut. And if you don't put your hand underneath while you're unscrewing these, the nuts will fall off. And guess what happened? One fell off. So I've already taken it off. See that hole there clamps right onto this. And as you can see, one of the nuts, I heard it ting, ting, ting. So now it's down in there somewhere in the engine. I gotta try and find it. But let's move on and keep dismantling. Okay, next step is removing this. So for this, you gotta switch from the T20, which we use to remove these screws in the center here. Gotta go back to the T25, which is the same that fits all these screws on the bike. So we use the T25 here. This is just that's a hex bolt I use to mount this, so I'll take off separately. And you probably won't have one of those on your bike, so no worries, let's get to it. Okay, next we're gonna remove this. So they supplied the Allen wrench and then this longer screw that's gonna go down the middle. So I'm gonna do first is remove this top part, which will take the lever part off, and then we'll stick the wireless charger on top and put this screw down in the middle. I'm gonna orientate my phone in portrait while I'm riding. I don't really like the, what do you call it, horizontal. So I'm gonna be positioning mine like that. So the little flippers, these little flipper things are on the side or on the left and right, and the little power button is on top. If you want your phone in horizontal position, then you'd have to turn it this way. So I'm gonna mount mine like that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this top part should come off. Okay, so there's the, let's go ahead and then, so I'm gonna mount mine like this. Power light is on the top and the connector is on the bottom. And I believe there's also There's a little, I think this is actually a power button, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see. But yeah, so this will be on the bottom. Okay, so now it's on, it's in place. So what this does is it pushes down. You can see it, it pushes down, pops up. So you put your phone on it, twist it. To get it out, you just need to grab your phone, push down, and take it off. So this one's actually probably even easier to take your phone off than the lever one. If I do one hand, no problem. We will see. Okay, next I'm gonna start doing the cabling, and first probably attach the SAE cable to the battery. Okay, so I just connected these. I connected the ground and then the power to this convenience terminal, which goes into the back to the actual battery. And then I'm just gonna tuck the wire underneath here. That plastic cover will go over this, you won't see it. So I'm just gonna take some time and try to snake it through and see how best to hide the wire. And then I'll show you what I did with that once it's done. Okay, I'm in the process of still snaking the wire. But so far, I've got, this will be covered, so I've got the first SAE connection going up through here. I'll tighten all this with the zip ties up through the back. This is in the back seat. And I want this accessible in case I need to turn it off or on or change it. So I'm just gonna have it, I'm gonna strap it down in the back here. And then this cable goes back down through, this black one, back down through here. Oops, up underneath here, across here, behind the air intake thing, up through here, and it's popping out on top. So it's right here. So I really don't need, I'm gonna use the shortest USB cable they provided for the charger. And this one is from the GPS unit, the cradle. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna tape over this and around it with electrical tape just to, seal up those, oops, I can't get this centered. Just to seal up all around here so no water or anything gets in there. Okay, so here's the shortest USB cable they provided with the wireless charger and this little rubber boot. So this is, you have to put this through the small side with the little ribs there. You put this through the big end and push it through out the small end, bring it all the way around to this side, and then tuck this in. Tuck this in, pull it all the way up as far as it goes. So now you got just a little bit showing, and then this will connect, if you can see down here. This will connect in here and see, this overlap will seal around the lip of this one, so it'll be watertight. So that's pretty cool. So one important thing is you want to make sure that none of the wires, especially these red ones, are showing when you put things back on. So when I put this back on here, this wire is showing here. What I did is I put this band that holds the battery case in. There's a rubber band, see, it just unhooks here. I use that as a kind of a safety tie down, just to tie it up against there. Now I'm going to zip tie these wires up here like this, so that they're behind that plastic cover. You won't see them. Okay, so I'm gonna test it out. So I've got this in the, let's see, is it off? Yeah, it's in the off position. I put it on auto. Okay, now I'm gonna turn on the bike. Here's the power light here, so it hasn't gone on. It will only go on once I start the bike, supposedly. So let's start the bike and see. Okay, so the power light's on. But anyways, it's all hooked up. So I'm gonna zip tie everything in place, and then put all the panels back on, the fairing, and that's it. And then take it for a test ride. Okay, almost done. Just gotta put the seat back on. Oh, it's hot in here. Done. Yes. So there we have it. All done. Thanks for joining me, and I hope it helps you make a decision. I really like now that I have real good access to the on and off power switch, which before that GPS was there and I always had to reach over the top. Now I can see the BMW logo, remind me what kind of bike I'm riding, just in case I forget, because I'm getting older. But that's it. I'm happy so far. I'm gonna have to go on a few rides with it and see how it performs. All right, thanks again. Take care. Later.